Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic, seer, and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this new moon total solar eclipse in Leo, August 12th, 2026, psychic crystal reading for each of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. The earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You may want to watch the whole video or the elements that correspond to not just your sun sign, but also your rising sign and your moon sign, and if you're born on the cusp of your sign, because this eclipse will affect all of the parts of your chart. So you may want to check that out. Also, if you want more detailed information about this new moon total solar eclipse in Leo, you can get my eclipse effects from the new moon solar eclipse in Leo, August 12th, 2026, psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings that I've done for each sign of the zodiac. They're available on my Patreon shop, my Gumroad shop, and also on Vimeo. So all that being said, now on to your psychic crystal reading for this eclipse. And I'm starting with the element of earth. This is Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. This could bring about like a quiet time of reflection for the earth signs. It could also be a great time for the earth signs to make money. Now, this is a total eclipse, a total solar eclipse. So the effects can even last up to 18 months. Not the normal, like I usually say, 2 weeks and up to 30 days. That may be the strongest impact for you, but these effects can last 6 to 18 months. So making money, finding new ways to make money could be on the table for the earth signs. Some of you earth signs are going to see somebody from the past that you haven't seen for a long time. Now, for some of you, it could be an old love could return. Or somebody, you dated in the past could return. But it could also be a friend or a family member you haven't seen for a long time. Gambling could really kick up for you. You may want to place your bets on stuff. And if you're not somebody that likes to gamble at casinos or online gambling or whatever, or sports betting or whatever, you could want to gamble on the stock market, cryptocurrency, precious metals, whatever, like anything that has like risk or gambling to it could kick up for you earth signs over the course of the next 6 months, but up to 18 months. Making new friends, new social engagements, and making new friends and new connections, and even good for networking. New networking possibilities and new friends, new social activities and engagement could really kick up for you earth signs. If you enter into any strict dieting or exercise regimens or anything like that, it's going to work. It's going to pay off. If you're part of any club, group, organization, political group even, or any boards that you may sit on or committees, you could get nominated from the energies of this eclipse. They may want you to be the one that's going to be in charge, or they could nominate you to run things, or to be the treasurer, the secretary, the president, the head person. You could get nominated for that from this energy. So here are the 3 cautions for the earth signs. I'm getting, it's kind of weird. I get some of you earth signs may be spending too much time out of something. So like if you normally need to work in your office and you're like, I'm going to go work out in the field or, you know, or take time off, or it's like you're not spending enough time in something. Maybe you're not spending enough time at home with your loved ones. It could be maybe you're not spending enough time at work. There's something you're not spending enough time on. And it's like, I don't know whether you're intentionally trying to avoid this, whatever you're not spending enough time in, or it's just situational circumstances that are making that happen. But be careful of that, because it could cause you some kind of problems. Some of you could be, it's weird because I got like one of the blessings for the earth signs is that diet and exercise regimes could really pay off. But a caution or a warning that comes up for you is you could eat too much. I get like sugary things, sweets. I'm seeing licorice in particular, but it could be just symbolic of candy. Or it could be just something that you're eating that has a high sugar content or converts to sugar in your body. Maybe you're like, I don't eat sugar. I'm eating this, that, and the other. Well, if you're if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, or if you eat a lot of potatoes and rice and pasta, that all converts to sugar in your body. But I am literally seeing, I feel like it's food, something that you could eat and like get obsessed about eating. I gotta eat it every day. Like you could get on that, but it's not good for you. And I feel like it's sugar related. There's something that the earth signs need to keep up the pace in because they're falling behind. You could fall behind in something from this new moon total solar eclipse in Leo, where it could be like you're not keeping up enough on world and current events, or you're not keeping up enough with like people you work with that are all striving to, you know, get a promotion, get a raise, get this or that. Like you may not be keeping up with like current events with coworkers or the pace of something that's going along. It could even be if you run and you're into marathons or triathlons or whatever, you may not be keeping up pace with the other people that are doing it. So you have to, it's like you got to keep up with something here. There's something you're not on top of. It could be, like I said, current events. It could be like what's going on. Like maybe your job entails that you need to know what's going on in the, you know, stock market or something. And maybe you're not keeping up on it. And other people are going to blow by you and surpass you. And you may be like, what happened? So you got to figure out what that thing is. It's hard for me to say because it's a general reading. But like I said at the beginning of the video, you can check out my Eclipse Effects, Psychic Tarot Crystal, and Oracle card readings I did for this specific eclipse. Those links are down below. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of water. This will be Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Some of you water signs could find yourself getting in deep with something. That could be like getting in deep in a relationship, getting in deep with some subject or something you're trying to dig into and learn about, or, you know, but I get all this water, even though it's the eclipse is in fire, it's Leo, but I get all this water around you. Yes, I'm looking at water signs, but I'm hearing getting in deep, and I feel like you're in deep water. So water can be symbolic of emotions. So it could involve relationships, but it could be getting in deep with people or situations that could feel like overwhelming to you. So you have to be cautious of getting in too deep. Could even be literally deep water. So be careful of that. Some of you water signs are going to want to take things up to the next level. It could be a love relationship. Could be a friendship you want it to turn into a love relationship. Could be a love relationship you're in, you want to take it to the next level. It could be something you're learning with training, education, schooling, your work, your experience and knowledge. You may want to take something up to the next level from the energies of this eclipse. Some of you water signs could buy something that's really spectacular over the course of the next 6 months, but even up to 18 months, this eclipse could affect you. So it could be like a new home, a new car, a new computer, a new camera. It could be anything, something else, clothing, whatever. But it would be really impressive, and you would feel like this is spectacular. This eclipse could make some of you water signs really feel like you want to break out of a mold that you're in. If you feel like you've been pigeonholed, or like it could be a relationship, it could be a career, it could be a job, but something that you feel like is kind of constraining, limiting, you may want to break out of it. It could even be your own persona. Maybe you're like, I've been shy or quiet or this or that. You may want to break out of that and be like more bold, more outgoing, because I do see that energy with you. Like, you know, I wanted to be bold. I want to be bold. I want to break out of this. So it could be your own personality traits or persona. It could be that as well. Some of you are going to get offered a job interview that you want to get, and you very likely can get this job. I see you being really excited about an opportunity to go for an interview at something that you really want to pursue. And for some of you, I feel you will get it. But right now, I see it as like the opportunity to get the interview is exciting to you. This could be an energy that has you water signs starting your own business or company of some sort, or to become self-employed, start your own business, start your own company. All of that energy is swirling around you water signs. And remember, this can last up to 18 months. If you are a water sign that finds yourself in some complex, complicated circumstance or situation, I feel like this eclipse is going to give you the insight on how to bob and weave your way out of complex and complicated situations. Like you could have flashes of ingenuity of like how to get out of it, or how to bypass bureaucracy. That kind of, how to bypass red tape, bureaucracy, complex and complicated situations. Feel like you're going to get the insight of like, okay, this is what I need to do to avoid all of that and get yourself out of things that are complex and complicated. So now, here are the 3 cautions for the water signs. Okay, this is a weird one. I almost don't feel like I agree with it, but it is what I'm hearing, so I've got to share it with you. You need to try to control your emotions in some scenario that is going to pop up where you may feel like you want to cry or be emotional in some other way. But I see like upset and crying, But for some reason, it's not going to be to your benefit to express that. So controlling your emotions in some scenario that is triggering or upsetting to you is a good idea. If you can't control your emotions in something that's upsetting to you, and you have the ability to exit and leave the situation, that's what I would do. Because for some reason, you getting really worked up or upset or crying, it's not going to help you. I don't know what the scenario is. I see water sign people crying or being really emotional and really upset, and that my guides are saying that's not going to help you. Try to control that or exit. I don't totally agree with that, but I don't know what scenarios my guides can see playing out where that would happen for you. Some of you need to really be careful if you're driving somewhere. You could get stuck in a really bad traffic jam. If you're traveling, vacationing, traveling, I just get a bad traffic jam and it's like locked. So you may want to take an alternative route. Like if you have plans to drive somewhere, I would go a different route than what you normally do. Or make sure you have snacks on hand and mayonnaise jars or whatever, coffee cans, mayonnaise jars, whatever, to pee in. I don't know how else to say this, but you could get stuck in a really bad traffic jam. That's the ins and outs of it. So be careful of that. So I hope those messages were of help to you and made sense. You also need to be careful if you are someone that drinks. I know many times when I pick up alcohol things in people say in the comments, I don't drink, but there's a lot of people that do. I get that you need to be careful of drinking because I feel like what's going to happen is you could be somewhere, either out at a restaurant or a bar or to a party or some kind of gathering, and you could get too drunk and pass out or crash into tables or make a fool of yourself. So I know this is covering a long period of time. It's 6 months up to 18 months. So that's a long time. If you like to drink, you got to be careful. Just know if you're going out to eat or you're going to a bar or you're going to a party or you're going to an event and alcohol's being served, you really need to temper what you're doing because if you drink too much, you're going to, like I said, you're either going to crash into something like tables or you're going to say stupid things or you're going to pass out. There's something that's going to come up that later you'll be like mortified about. So be careful of that. So I hope those messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of fire. This is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But before I go on, I just want to mention here that you might be interested in getting some of the most recently recorded videos that I've recorded for my Patreon shop, Gumroad shop, and Vimeo. That's still available, but not much longer. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, my eclipse effects from this very new moon solar eclipse in Leo, August 12th, 2026, psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings for each sign of the zodiac. You may want to get your rising sign and your moon sign or your rising sign and your sun sign in those video series to get a more complete picture of what's to come for you from this eclipse. Also, my mid-year love and romance update for 2026 for singles and couples. The first part of the reading is for singles. The second part of the reading for each sign is for couples. So if you're curious about your romantic life, you may want to check them out. I have had people write me and say their Venus sign even resonated with them on the romance, love and romance readings. I do recommend watching the entire reading because even if you're a couple, the singles messages, some of them may apply to you. And even if you're single, some of the coupled people's messages may apply to you. So I recommend watching the entire reading. Also, my mid-year Psychic Tarot update for 2026 for each sign of the zodiac, where I used the center of the 10-card Celtic Cross Tarot spread and looked at the second half of the year and got psychic predictions and messages from my guides for that half of the year. So you may want to check them out, and you might want to get more than just your sun sign, but that's completely up to you. If you want to get one video, I would get what normally resonates with you on my YouTube and Rumble readings. Also, my psychic crystal readings for August 2026 are available. They're like a continuation and an expansion of the psychic tarot readings I do at the beginning of the month. But I want to let you know here, if you didn't get May, June, or July, or August, you may want to get the months that have already passed, because those predictions and messages in each monthly psychic crystal reading I do are going to go further out than just that month, because timing is different for all of you. You don't all have the same birth chart. So what I pick up some of you may say, that already happened to me. Or some of you may not see it happen for 6 months after that reading. So you may want to check that out. And I do appreciate you purchasing my videos that I record beyond my YouTube and Rumble readings, because it is what keeps this channel going. So thank you so very much for that. So now on to the fire signs. This could be an eclipse that inspires the fire signs to make really bold moves and changes. Some of you may be very incensed that you want peace, and that you want peace in the family, or it could be in a work environment or a situation, or in a club, group, or organization you belong to. And so you could be very dogmatic and emphatic about you want peace in some area of your life. And you could be like telling this to other people. I don't mean like you're just like emoting to yourself. I feel like you're going to project this to other people and say, yo, I want peace. Like, calm down. These things need to be sorted out and stop all this ruckus. That's what I see you doing. This could make this eclipse energy of this new moon total solar eclipse in Leo could make some of you fire signs want to strut your stuff, like show off your accomplishments, prove yourself, especially if you feel good about something you made, something you created, or your appearance or something. You could really feel like, I want to, show off a little bit, or, what do they call it? Crowing. You want to crow about, I did this. Isn't this great? Or just like, hey, look at me. Don't I look good? Like something like that. That's what I'm hearing. That's what my guides are telling me. This will be a great time for the fire signs to spot excellent deals. It could be deals on a car, deals on a home, deals on, things you collect. Maybe you collect certain things, or you need to purchase certain things. Maybe you need furniture or rugs or, whatever. You are going to have an eagle eye for spotting deals. And remember, the energies of this eclipse, they last for strongest for the first 6 months. But this eclipse, it's a total solar eclipse, can last up to 18 months. This could be an eclipse that helps the fire signs to finalize plans, especially any contracts or things you need to sign. Finalizing a sale of a home, finalizing some other kind of deal, finalizing a deal with maybe you have clients and customers and you need to finalize a deal with them, or finalize a deal on negotiating something with your employer. But like finalizing deals and signing documents and signing important papers comes up here. But this is a good thing. This is something you want to happen, not something you don't want. If you're artistic or creative, you could really create something of beauty over the next 18 months. It could be a mural, a sculpture. It could be designing a website. It could be writing a story or composing a song, anything like that. But you could really, your energy, the fire signs, all this creation energy is coming up. You could create a child. You could get pregnant over the next 18 months and deliver a beautiful baby. Creation is strong with the fire signs from this eclipse. If you've been yearning or longing for somebody to come back in your life, they could come back now. You could have a reuniting with an old love, or maybe it's not even somebody that left a long time ago. Maybe it's a recent love and you broke up. I don't know, but somebody you're longing for could return. So that's something to think about. So here are the 3 cautions for the fire signs. Oh, I don't like it when I get this. I hate it when I get it. You got to be careful you don't fall and break your ankle or your foot or your toe. Because again, falling and breaking something, and this comes up, sometimes one of the other elements gets it, but it's coming up with the fire signs. So watch your footing. Especially if you're on a hike, or you're doing any rock climbing, or you're on a boat. Because one thing I will tell you I see, on the bow of the boat, I'm not a sailor or a boating person. I've been on a lot of boats, but I'm not an expert. So I don't know what this thing is called. I don't even want to guess. I'm going to say the wrong thing. But it's like shaped like a line. It's metal. And it's like you can wrap a rope around it to like tie up the boat, or to tie up sails on a sailboat, or so it's like I don't know what it's called. I'm not even going to guess because I know I'm going to say the wrong thing. But if you're on a boat, you could ram your foot into that and break it, or hit your foot on it and fall, and your foot's caught under it because it's not flush to the bottom of the boat. It's got space because you can wrap a rope around it. Your foot could get caught, you could fall, you could break your foot, your toe, your ankle. But you could be doing other things, hiking, climbing, rock climbing. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing, but I do see that boat. So if you're into boating, beware of that, because I feel like that could, they're showing me that specifically, but it's a symbol to show you your foot could get caught in something or under something, and then you could fall and you could break your ankle or foot, especially ankle. So be very, 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 very careful of that. This is a weird one. If you're prone to cursing, you could go off on a blue streak. You're like flipping out, curse words streaming out. somebody's going to overhear you that you don't know can hear you. And it's going to be not a good look for you. It's going to be embarrassing because they're going to overhear you. Maybe you're recording a video and you're like, nah, your camera's not working right or your audio's not working right. I could write a book about that. And you're going to be going off on a blue streak, and maybe it, or maybe it's on a live stream. I don't know. It could be anywhere. Maybe you're working in a church and you're building something and you hit your thumb with a hammer, and the minister or the priest or the, churchgoers hear you cursing a blue streak, or there's little kids right around the corner and you don't know, you can't see them, and you do something and then you get upset and you curse up a blue streak, and all these like little kids are hearing you go off. So be careful of that. It's funny, but I don't feel like you're going to think it's funny because it's coming up as a caution or a warning. Some of you need to be careful if you have siblings or a sibling. You could fight with your siblings. If you don't have siblings, it could be another family member, or it could be a friend that feels like a sibling to you. But my guides are specifically saying arguments and fighting with siblings could kick up from the energies of this new moon total solar eclipse in Leo. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of air. This is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. This could be an eclipse that makes the air signs want to get things organized and put in order. It could be your home environment. It could be paperwork. It could be files on your computer. I don't know, but strong desire to get things organized and put into order. If you have items and things you want to sell, this eclipse will inspire the air sign element to want to sell. So it could be your own creations. It could be your stuff that you inherited or stuff that you've bought, that you've had over the years. You may want to sell it online. You may want to have an auction or yard sales or whatever. This eclipse could inspire the air signs to want to seek guidance. It could be guidance like maybe you feel like you need therapy. But it could be guidance about your finances. It could be guidance about, your, like I said, your psychology. It could be dietary guidance. I don't know. But seeking guidance will kick up for the air signs. This is a weird one. I'm not really sure how to phrase this, but it's like, some of you air signs may be riding high on accomplishments or something. But this eclipse could like knock you down a peg, where you're like, everything's going along, things are going my way, and a rug could get pulled out from underneath you. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's a caution or a warning at all, but I'm just telling you this kicks up. It could happen. Some of you air signs are going to make a big, bold move involving change, and it's going to be a good thing that you did it. So you can make some big decision, big move, big bold move, and it's going to be the right thing to do. Like it could be buying a new house. It could be to move. It could be to, break up with somebody that you don't feel like it's a good connection. But some big change, a big bold move is going to work out for you. It's going to be to your benefit. Some of you are going to find like a new path to follow. This could be like a new career path. Because that's what I feel like they mean when they're showing me a new path to follow. I don't feel like they mean when you're walking, jogging, or hiking, although it could be. But I feel it's more like a new path to follow, like, well, I've done this for a long time, and that's worn out its purpose. Now I've got this new path and new interest I'm going to follow. Your communication skills could really be heightened over the next 18 months. And this could in some way get you involved in giving speeches, teaching classes, coaching, webinars, seminars, doing lecture series, master classes. But like communications could be really amped up for you in a positive way. If you've been waiting to get selected about something, like to get in a club, a group, an organization, or something like that, I feel like you're going to get selected. Some of you are going to get put in charge of something, like be in charge, like be team leader, group leader, boss, get maybe a promotion, but being a leader in something. If you have to learn anything new, this eclipse is going to have the air signs like catching on to things really quickly. So here's the cautions for the air signs. Don't let yourself dig your heels in and be too stubborn, because it's whatever you're digging your heels in and being stubborn about, it's not the right thing. You're wrong, or it's just not the right thing for you to be digging your heels in about. Some of you, if you have to do mathematical calculations or some other type of calculations, it's not right. You figured it out incorrectly. So I'd be very careful of that. Some kind of calculations, you're not calculating it right. And I feel it's connected to do with money. Could be what you need to pay for something, or, I don't know. Or maybe you are paying somebody for their services and you calculated out what you think you need to pay them, and it's incorrect. You're either overpaying them or underpaying them. Some of you could have something that has problems that is mechanical. It could be like, I see doors of a car, like the door lock. If it's door locks could be getting jammed. There's something that's not working right. It could be a door to your home, but I feel it's more like vehicle related, where something is not working right. It's getting jammed. It's not working right. There's mechanical things involved. It could be computers that aren't working right also, or some other type of machinery or electronics. But I really feel it's more connected to do with something like a car door lock, or car window, electric locks. That seems to have some kind of problem, especially in a vehicle. So keep that in mind. So I hope this reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. Thank you for your liking, hyping, sharing my videos, and subscribing. I do truly appreciate it. It means a lot. It helps me a lot. Thanks for your comments. I do truly appreciate that as well. And if you are not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing if you like my videos, and hit that notification bell when you do subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I upload my videos to YouTube. And I had a couple people tell me recently that YouTube unsubscribed them. So I'm sorry to hear that. Don't know why that would happen. I have heard it in the past before, and I'm hearing it again. Don't know the motivation for that. So if you think you're subscribed and you're not getting notified, you may want to check and see if you've been unsubscribed by YouTube. I don't know. So check that out. If you want more predictions and messages that I can bring you from my spirit guides on very specific topics, I have a slide here that you can read all the different video series I've recorded, and they're available on Patreon, my Patreon shop. Many of them will now be also available on my Gumroad shop, and they're also available on Vimeo. So take a look at this list. If you purchase anything on Vimeo, make sure you download it and save it to your computer for future viewing if you want to, because on November 20th, the on-demand platform of Vimeo is disappearing, and you won't have access to the videos you've purchased before. Vimeo is not going to house them because they're doing away with that feature. They're doing away with on-demand. So keep that in mind. So I hope you have absolutely amazing energy that comes to you from this new moon total solar eclipse in Leo, August 12th, 2026. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.